she would have from secular and religious people compared to if she was married and adhered to a very misogynistic standard. Society doesn't care as much if the woman's married anymore. But there are teen girls that are shamed for becoming a mother at 16 without being married. There are places in the world that if you become pregnant, they force you to marry whoever it is. Motherhood doesn't have to be included in marriage. Many famous women are single mothers. And I'm not going to ever say that being a single mother is easy. Some people say it's the hardest thing to do. But just having the expectation that when someone's pregnant, they're married, dehumanizes people. Being a mother isn't better or worse depending on your marital status. As long as you can financially and emotionally provide for your child, that's the important thing. But we need to start getting more representation and have consistent support equally for married mothers as we do unmarried. We need to stop standing outside Planned Parenthood shaming women for being pregnant. For every pregnant woman, there's usually a man that isn't being shamed. And most of the Republicans that are politicians probably have paid for secret abortions. People like Trump, yeah. It's a basic human right to choose if they want to be a mother. Anyone who does not agree with women's right to abortion needs to look in the mirror. Every woman has a right to decide if her body is going to change, because your body does change when you become pregnant. Women should be able to say, yes, I want a child. I either want to birth it, keep it, or give it up for adoption. Or another valid choice, having an abortion. If women do not have 100% autonomy like men do, they're not equal. Everyone has a right to their own body. And married, single, divorced, alone, does not change rights. If you can't take someone's kidney after death without their signature, you should not be allowed to control someone's uterus. As long as you have the consent of the pregnant person, abortions should be legal. Because people of color, people of low income will be the most affected. Abortion is always about racism. People don't care about the life of the child. It's about control. And when you're a mother, you're very easy to control. That's why toxic men try to get women pregnant. It's an easy way to control women. And motherhood is no better or no worse than being single. Our society and our churches say otherwise, but they're equal. And I don't want to be a part of a religion or a denomination that treats child-free people as less than. And when someone says, I don't want kids, regardless of age or gender, the only appropriate response is, that's fine. We should never say you'll change your mind or think about it. It's dehumanizing. Women have to wait years and go through a half a dozen gynecologists and specialists before they can have surgeries to control or limit procreation. Men can walk right in, have a vasectomy, in and out within a few weeks. Women, they can wait 10 years. Some just give up because their doctors infantilize them, regardless of gender, age, or orientation, or status, with or without a relationship. Women should be able to say, I want an abortion, I want my tubes tied, and get it done in the same amount of time women get their procedures done. Anything more, anything less is not equality, it's oppression. The world never holds men accountable in reproduction like they do women. Women always get shamed for getting pregnant unless you fit the social hetero expectation. Choose the life choice you want. And if your choice was taken away from you, there's still ways to set boundaries and have a life. Just because you have a child does not mean you can't have a career, you can't have a social life, you can't go to a party. It's called life balance. Our society, especially in the United States, offers very little help to women. Women always usually do the 70 to 80% of work surrounding children. And toxic men, they have to win an award to spend 1 hour with their kids, while women spend I would say at least 18 hours a day with their kids under the age of 7. Women will always do more work. Every year, women work an extra month compared to men. Motherhood is usually unpaid, very little appreciation. And usually mothers are also child rearing their own partners. I would say 1 out of 3 married women, there's not much difference between their kids and their partner. They have to take care of both. Luckily, women have more choices now. So if a man doesn't treat a woman right, or a woman doesn't treat a man right, with no-fault divorce, you can get out of bad circumstances. But in a lot of cultures, women are still the property of men. Even in America, every 10 minutes, men kill their intimate partners. There's nothing wrong with being a mother. There's a lot of respect involved with that. But society and the church gives not even half the level of respect to women who can't have kids, or it's hard to have kids, or they don't want kids. Whether you're married or single, they don't get half the respect, or even half of a mention compared to married women with kids. And the church will always support marriage, children, and family because it financially benefits them. It's morally relevant. It protects their white privilege. And it sets up a dynamic, us versus them. And I'm not saying being a mother is bad. I'm just saying it's really the only thing that's supported, talked about positively, and celebrated consistently. And anything that isn't that is an afterthought, erased, or is talked about as it's really sad. The trope, women die alone with their cats, is a way people shame a woman for choosing her own life. And when people say, well, you live alone, aren't you lonely? Do you have any cats? And I say, just because I live alone doesn't mean I'm lonely. On the other hand, I don't have to worry about my partner shooting me while I sleep or pushing me through a wall. 1 out of 4 women in the U.S. experience domestic violence. Not for 1 second do I ever regret having my life revolve around my career and my choices. But the nice thing about feminism is we can choose the way we want to live. And anyone who prevents abortion, reproductive rights, factual-based education, limits autonomy, anyone who prevents those things from being taught are a threat to women's autonomy, and they're a threat to democracy. You can't say abortion is bad and that children are valuable, and then once the child is born, offer little to no help. Stripping away Medicaid and Medicare and food stamps shows exactly how little heterosexual married people think about single mothers or child-free people. And a lot of people who voted against SNAP, EBT, and financial supports collected it as a child, like our vice president did. And will never be an equal gender, equal orientation country until we talk as frequently, as positively, and as encouraging about child-free as we do how we discuss married mothers.